Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. My name is John Hauser III. I'm the host of the Rude Cooking School podcast. How is everybody doing? Happy Turkey Day or week before Turkey Day. It's a pretty crazy time of the year. We get it. We understand, and we are here for you, and we are going to answer some of your questions. But first, we're going to just bullshit a little bit. I have a story to tell right out the box because Soren is, hi. And with me is
Saucy Soren Marquardt.
I had to go ask permission from my wife to tell this story. And I got no in or out. I'm just going to tell you the story.
I am
and
intrigued.
Soren's kind of just like, oh shit, what is this? So here's the story. My wife, Leanna, works for Johns Hopkins University, and they had Hot Ones challenge. And she was part of it. So there's like 4, 5 or 6 of them. And no, it was 8 to start. Then was 6, then down to 4. Leanna was at the end. She made it all the way through.
It was a Hot Ones tournament?
So they went through 6 different hot sauces, and people would just bounce out after it got too hot, right? And then her and 3 other people finished. She didn't win because somehow in the middle of it, they started changing the rules to be like, oh, well, if somebody's making a face, then it kind of makes it less or whatever. And they were also raising money, and she raised like almost $200. And then I guess the person who won raised the most money. So I don't think that's appropriate, but sure. Like, I'm glad the person raised the money, but she was pissed off. Not really, but just kind of like, man, I should have won. I was great. So like 3rd sauce in. So you've watched Hot Ones before, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. 3rd one in is Da Bomb.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So she's like, wow, that was pretty hot. The 6th one she was like, it's the new Da Bomb. And I'm pretty sure it's the ghost pepper one. So I went on their site and they've got a bunch of different ones. I'm thinking the one that she had, because this one looks the hottest. I think Scoville units, it's the hottest.
Mm-hmm.
So they got one called Beyond Insanity. That's the regular Da Bomb. Then they got the Da Bomb ghost pepper. Then they got Ground Zero, and they got a salsa. So I think, and then they got one called the Final Answer. That one's an extract, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. So like, the Final Answer is, whoa, where we go? The Final Answer is 1.5 million on the Scoville unit.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay. The Bomb regular is 135,600. Jesus Christ. And then,
I mean, that's up there, but like,
yeah, that's still hot.
But I've also heard like the original Da Bomb tastes like shit.
and the ghost pepper one is 1 million. So I'm assuming it's the ghost pepper one, because the Ground Zero one isn't. The Final Answer is an extract.
Yeah.
So Ground Zero is same thing. Yeah, it's 1 million. So she does it. They do 6. She makes it all the way through. Then they do a 7th where they mixed number 5 and number 6 together, and then had them try that.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
She made it through, and they were like dipping chicken nuggets.
Okay.
So the person would dip like a chicken nugget halfway in, give it to them, they'd eat it. They could buy milk, depending on how much money you raised or whatever. They gave you so much money to buy things. And she was like, I didn't do any of that shit. I just fucking raw dogged the whole joint. It was fine. So,
legend. Fucking legend.
She was great. And she gets done. She texts me and Crosby. She's like, I made it. It's awesome. Fucking fuck this bullshit. And I was like, oh, you're awesome. Good job. And I was actually homesick that day. I was homesick Tuesday. And then about an hour later, I get a text saying, I'm coming home. I'm not feeling great. And I was like, okay, thinking maybe she caught whatever I caught from Crosby over the weekend. As you can still hear, I'm a little raspy. I'm sorry. She comes home. She goes immediately upstairs and like lays down. And she's just like, I'm in pain. My stomach hurts like fuck. I was like, all right, if there's anything you need, let me know. I'm here. You know, I got her some water, you know, took her shoes off, put a blanket on, you know, that kind of.
Mhm.
And then about an hour after that, I'm watching old Doctor Who episodes on Tubi because there's a whole channel on Tubi dedicated to the 60s and 70s Doctor Who. I highly recommend it.
Nice.
Anyway,
All the big collars.
she runs to the bathroom and is moaning in pain. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? So I run upstairs and she's just like doubled over. I didn't know what she was going to do. Like what end she was thinking to have it come out of. You know what I mean? Like she was just like, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening? And she's like, I'm in so much pain. Her stomach was in so much pain. I'm at this point, I'm like, I think I have to take her to the hospital. What the fuck? And, you know, she goes back to the bedroom, didn't do anything. She just thought her body had to do something because she was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And I'm like immediately like, okay, what the fuck do I gotta, you know, we have like antacid, right? Like here, drink a fucking shot of this shit. And she takes a shot of that. And then I'm like Googling like what to deal with, you know, with a person that drinks a lot of really hot sauce. And it was like, the first thing is give them that, which I should have had the foresight to give to her as soon as she came in the house.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm halfway out of it anyway, because I'm sick and just on the couch, like, eh. And she takes that and then she's sitting there and like she's just moaning. And I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna we're gonna have to go to the hospital. I was like, I'm going to start putting on clothes. And she's like, no, I think it's a little bit better. And I'm like, okay. So at that point, I'm like, all right, she's a little bit better. I'm just going to sit here for a bit, make sure she's all right. And she's like, no, I'm okay. You know, and I'm like, fuck, man, what the fuck is happening? And then she just toughed it out for like another hour. And then like an hour and a half came downstairs. And she just laid on the couch, just like, and she was better, but she was like, I'm never, ever doing that ever again.
I don't blame her.
One of her coworkers had the same thing happen to him, except it hit him when he was driving home.
Oh,
he had to pull over and he was cramping so bad. And this was last year that this happened to him. So he had warned her. So as soon as she started feeling weird, she was like, okay, I'm going to go home just in case this happens to me. And she was like, if I'd have been driving and that happened to me, I would have crashed my car or I would have had to do what he did and just pull over. And
yeah, I've definitely like the, what's his name? The guy, the Pepper X guy, his name escapes my mind at the moment. The guy that grows all the insane fucking super like record breaking hot chilies.
Oh yeah.
Like apparently capsaicin cramps are like a really real thing that can happen when you go too ham with the hot sauce kind of stuff.
Yeah. So she's never really done any. Is it Ed Curry?
Yeah, Ed Curry. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a thing. It's just weird that, you know, we eat hot stuff, not that hot. It's like, to be completely fair.
Yeah, that's a dare kind of hot.
Right, right. But we eat a lot of hot sauce here and relatively hot sauces.
Yeah, same.
But not, you know, those things. And I'd like to know, it would be interesting to find out if there's anybody who's been on hot ones that's experienced that. But it's also maybe because she didn't drink milk.
I don't know. It may have to, I think when you do stuff like that, you kind of have to set a base too. Sort of like before you go drinking,
She ate a bunch of food and ate a bunch of bread and shit before she did it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. She was like, I ate a big breakfast. I ate like I think it was like a bagel or something before she went and did it. She was like, I was trying to lay a base down so it wouldn't just go into my stomach lining just as
raw
is.
dog. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. She knew there was going to be like chicken nugs, but yeah, it sounded like it sucked. I mean, I was terrified. I thought I was going to have to take her to the hospital.
Yeah, I've eaten a lot of super hot shit, but I haven't gone that far yet. I have a limit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy painful hot stuff. I'll eat like really, really hot stuff, but not stuff that's hot for the sake of being hot. Like I hate Nashville chicken. I think it's fucking the dumbest shit ever.
I've never actually tried it.
I've tried 3 versions of it, and all 3 I'm like, okay, if this just is what it is, because the first 2 I was like, okay, maybe I didn't get it at a good place, or maybe they didn't know what they're doing. The third one I was like, all right, this is just kind of par for the course. It
seems like it's just like really, really spastic chili oil.
Right. And it's just chili on top of chili on top of chili. Whereas like if I eat Szechuan food, which is chili on top of chili, at least they have Szechuan peppercorns to numb your
the numminess. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, she eats fucking Szechuan food, no problem. But, again, that stuff's such a different level of Scoville units.
Yeah.
That, so that's the story. It's not the greatest story in the world, but I wanted.
But no, I'm proud that she survived it.
Yeah, to warn people just in case you're going to do a hot ones challenge, be careful because it might get you. She was fine.
I'm sure there's been some repercussions, but
she definitely was having. She was like, it felt like pregnancy cramps, but in my stomach, and I was like, ooh. So,
I mean, I can't speak to how that feels, but I've definitely been, around it, a person who was experiencing it. And it did not seem like it was fun.
I've personally not had pregnancy cramps, but I can't remember the last time I had a cramped stomach. So, like, as an adult, that probably fucking feels terrible.
Yeah.
So, on to better things. As of this taping, I'm just going to say, I still don't know what I'm making for Thanksgiving. I have no fucking idea. I know I'm making a turkey. We're getting a turkey from a farm, Albright Farm, that we've gotten our turkey from probably the past 10, 15 years.
Man, I wish I had that option.
We get a big turkey. It's like a 20 pounder. It's more expensive, but it's a turkey from a farm that we really enjoy.
And it's probably way better quality.
It's a really good quality. And it's fresh. It's not frozen at all. So there's a difference in the texture, just starting there. But it's so fucking big that like I'm going to pick it up on Saturday. I'll probably start brining it on Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. I'll probably either start brining it on Sunday night or Monday night. Probably Sunday night.
You doing a wet brine?
No, I always do a dry brine. I used to do a wet brine for years, and then I read about a dry brine, and I tried it on a chicken, and I was like, oh shit, this is incredible. So, like, the bad thing about a wet brine that I don't like is it's really easy to get rubbery skin. Mm-hmm. So, with a dry brine, you don't get that. So, what happens is with a dry brine, you just, salt it. And then if you want to throw in, I've done, orange zest, some cinnamon, clove, whatever. You can put that all in the chicken. And I also do some baking powder. Because
it helps dry out skin. Or
it helps to change the pH in the skin. So when it starts to get hot, it crisps up more.
Yeah, I actually learned that from you.
It what it does is what it does to dough. It creates air inside the skin, so it creates little bubbles as it gets hot, and it sets little bubbles under the skin.
Like pushes the water out. And,
No, it just literally creates bubbles, and then the bubble on the outside creates crispiness.
okay, so
You know what I mean?
it's
So
almost like
it kind of
yeast.
puffs it up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it thickens the skin a little bit, but it makes it airy. So then the air gets hot, and then that crisps the skin throughout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're like making like turkey chicharron.
Exactly. So yeah, I do dry brine. I spatchcock it, which is to take the back out. You just cut the whole spine out, and then you can lay it flat.
Yeah.
And it cuts the cooking time by half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just put it on a wire rim rack because I don't like. People are gonna tell you to cook your turkey in a roasting pan, and it's actually really bad for your turkey because the radiant heat can't get up and around really in and under your turkey in a roasting pan. You know, if you got a high wall, like a 4-inch high roasting pan,
Yeah.
it's hard for that heat to get in and under. Whereas if you just have it on a, 1/2-inch rack,
Right.
with, a sheet pan with a rack in it, it can get right under there.
That's how
It
when
goes
we
right
do
into it. Because there's no
so-
side blocking it.
Right. So the last few years we've been well, I say we, no, my brother, my older brother, has been doing smoked turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because we've been having it at their house for a few years because they've got a little more space. But obviously with the competition barbecues.
Hold off on the method because we're going to get to that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, yep. No, I was going to relate to the spatchcock.
Oh,
thing.
go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
So yeah, it like he started doing that a couple of years ago, and I feel like it makes for a better end result.
I agree. The first time I did it, I was kind of like, okay, we'll see, because one of the issues is trying to cook the dark meat and the light meat relatively at the same time it doesn't work, because
Right.
for the white meat to be tender, you need it to be at around 150 to 155.
Sure.
They say cook at the 160. That's the government, but seriously, by the time you get to 160, it's going to carry over more, and it's going to be dry. I usually cook mine to 150 and let the carryover take it to about 160 because you're going to get a 10-degree bump.
Yeah.
And sometimes I go 145, but I wouldn't. I like mine a little, rarer. That sounds really weird with turkey, but yeah,
Yeah.
It's much more tender. It's much more juicy. It's not pink, and it's delicious. And with the dark meat, honestly, you can take that shit to 180 because you want to really break down all that connective tissue.
Yeah, and
in
it's
the
got
dark
enough
meat.
fat in it. It's not going to get super dry. So.
No, not at all. And honestly, the best way I've ever done it was, I think it was a Bourdain method, and it's literally like, just cut the fucking thing up. Cut and cook them separate. Cook your dark meat separate from your light meat. Keep them in separate pans. As soon as your light meat hits a thing, pull that out. While that's cooling, let your dark meat go. That shit hits a temp like 20 minutes later. Pull that
way
out.
you're not
good to go.
Like playing the game, trying to figure, with the whole
Right.
bird trying to get one pot,
Spatchcocking kind of evens that all out, where the dark meat isn't tucked up under the white meat and away from the heat.
Yeah.
Now it's all laid out, right?
Yeah, and you eliminate that giant cavity of air and steam in the middle.
Right. Which, again, if you've listened to this podcast, please don't put stuffing in your fucking turkey because it's terrible. Make dressing. It's okay. You can take all this fucking
Do you
turkey.
hear that? You hear that, Kurt? You hear that? That's my brother. You hear that shit?
You can take all of the oil and all the delicious fat and all of the juices that come off of the turkey and just dump it on your dressing at the end. And it tastes just as good. And if you just want to, after you splash all that shit on there, just throw it under the fucking broiler and just kind of flash fry all that shit. It tastes just as good, if not better, than being inside of a fucking cavity full of, maybe unprofessionally gutted intestine areas. Like, seriously, it's a big issue. And that's why a lot of people get sick, because people don't really think, like, dude, that's where the turkey's fucking intestines and all that shit. Like, they pull that shit out so much. They don't have time to clean that thing.
No.
It's a den of microbes. Let it fucking cook. And when you pack it full of stuffing, that's another thing that, like, you're making center mass of the turkey the thing that you got to cook, and not the stuff on the outside that you actually want to eat.
So by the time the shit in the middle is cooked, the outside is incinerated.
The outside is absolute sawdust.
And then, in the early part of the cook too, you're literally just like taking all this stuff at like a danger zone temperature and just it's soaking up all that like 100-degree turkey juice into this bread.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're just creating bacteria at that point.
You're making a bacteria playground.
You're making a time bomb.
Yeah. And if you don't cook it to 160, 165, the stuffing in the middle, you potentially could get really sick. And that sucks. Like,
Yeah, I guess I've been lucky because I grew up on
I've been lucky too, but that's what the thing was. They just cooked the shit out of the turkey. They didn't fucking know. They cooked it until either the thermometer went, or they just were like, all right, it's brown enough.
That's not something you want to eyeball.
Nobody was like, and also, like, back then, I remember it would take them fucking 4 hours to cook a turkey.
Yeah, well, I grew up on in the old school where they literally used like an electric, like roasting oven thing. It's not even the oven, just like an electric fucking like turkey roaster.
Okay.
And so it was the same thing. It would take forever to cook.
I mean, yeah. And like now I'm impressed with the spatchcocking, because it takes an hour and a half for a 20-pound turkey, 2 hours maybe. Like,
yeah.
It always fucks me up because my turkey gets done before I think it should be done, because I'm still used to it being like 3 some hours. And it cooks in like an hour and a half to 2 hours at the most. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do with this turkey? Like, and I got a double oven, right? Like, I got space to put things in and warm them up. But yeah, it's like, fuck. But yeah, again, besides the turkey, I don't fucking know what I'm making. I know I'm going to go mash and grave.
I mean, that's mandatory.
I'm going to go stuffing muffins, because that's...
I'm going to have to try that one of these days, because I've heard you talk about it for years and years, and I've never fucking done it. And
I'm going to go, actually, because I'm craving just straight up dressing, like stovetop. Like, so down in our kitchen right now, Leanna went out and bought a bunch of stuff. Our Crosby's high school, my old high school, is doing a pantry for people, since people have been out of work and things are getting harder.
Actually, we just did that yesterday for our school district. They handed out 400 meals.
Yeah. So the last 2 weeks, Leanna has took a bunch of food to the pantry. And then last Saturday, her and Crosby volunteered there and would take old ladies around the thing and fill up their, it was really nice. And it affected both of them very, very much. And Crosby a lot, to see how thankful people are that people are it affected him.
That's super important. It's like, that's admirable,
Yeah, I was sleeping,
Well, you were sick.
that was really important to me. But no, like I'll be volunteering to cook a bunch of senior dinners in a few weeks. But like, um, there's a giant box of stovetop that she got from BJ's today because she's going to donate again this week. And I was like, God damn, I could fucking eat one of those motherfuckers just by myself right now because I love stovetop. That's what I grew up with, right?
Yeah, I have a whole ass like story about stovetop and the reason I don't eat it anymore.
So she hates it. I love it. And that's where I came up with the stuffing muffin recipe because we both like dressing when it's crunchy. Like, because the crunchy ends are the best.
Right, yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to just have like a mushy part too.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's great about the stuffing muffins is it's a lot of crispy and in the middle it's mushy.
You get that little nugget right in the middle.
Right. But sometimes they just get a little overcooked or whatever when you're reheating them and shit. And so I was like, okay, this year I'm going to do half and half. I'm going to do the same amount, but I'll do half stuffing muffins and then half just in like a little baking dish. Cause I got like a little 1-quart baking dish.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do that and that's fine. Cause we never finish all the stuffing muffins I make. I'll make a dozen of them. We'll eat 7 or 8 at the most.
I feel like those would freeze pretty good though.
They do, but then you just lose track of them in your fridge, and then all of a sudden they got a little mold on them. You're like, all right, you got to go. And because there's so much shit on there's there's onion, celery, apple, sausage, egg, all the herbs. You know what I mean? Like chicken stock. It's a pretty wet environment.
Yeah.
All stuffing is, right?
Sure.
So, but when you add the meat and you add like a little bit of fruit and shit, like stuff starts to get a little funky, a little fermenty and shit.
little brewing going on there.
But I highly recommend it. Like you can look my name up, John Hauser III, and stuffing muffins, and the recipe will pop up. You might have to try to make your way around a paywall. But you didn't hear this from me. If you just kind of are really fast about it and know how to do screenshots on your phone really quick, you can get it done.
Yeah,
before the paywall pops up, you just got to be like, click, scroll, boom, scroll, boom, and then so that's how I got my own recipe back when I lost it at one point because I was like, it's on a laptop that's down in the basement that I haven't turned on in fucking 2 years, so I just got to figure it out. But yeah, it's a great recipe. It's delicious. And then besides cranberry sauce, I don't know what else I'm doing. So turkey, gravy, potatoes, stuffing, cranberry. I don't know. So I'll figure it out by then. Like we were talking about having like a little bit of a non-traditional thing. And that might be fun. Like maybe I'll be an asshole and do green bean casserole. Like I'll make it from scratch. Like we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Like
bring the MSG.
Yeah. And I think that might be what I was missing.
Yeah, I feel like I think we were onto something there with the because it lacks the homemade stuff is really good, but like I said, the Alton Brown recipe that we've done
was bland,
but it lacks the umami.
And even with the mushrooms, it lacked the umami. And I think the umami punch from the Campbell stuff is the MSG.
Yeah, it tickles that little back part of your brain that says, yeah, this is the one, because you're used to like cream mushroom soup that's like super, super umami, and but when you just do like heavy cream or half and half and like sauteed mushrooms, you don't get that extra punch.
Right. Although, like, you know what else? I'm gonna make rolls. And I always make rolls.
I've never done that from scratch.
I haven't figured out what kind of rolls I'm going to make. And I think we talked about this last week. My grandmother would make hard rolls from hard roll mix.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to make my own hard roll mix. And the key ingredient, like I said last week, is milk powder.
Mm-hmm.
Powdered milk. It's fucking brilliant, right? And then you get these big crusty fucking softballs that are like just feathery and light and delicious in the middle. But like, Parker House rolls or cloverleaf rolls are really fun to do too. Parker House rolls, you kind of take the dough and fold it over itself like a Pac-Man,
Mhm.
and then sit it in there and it opens that way. Uh, Cloverleaf rolls, you make 3 little balls and you put it in the tray and then they puff up, and then you can when you get it, you can rip them apart in 3
Oh, it's just
parts.
like garlic knots.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, totally. And there's a zillion kinds of like rolls or, sort of bread muffin, tin, like
Yeah, I've
muffin tin bread.
never once made a roll from scratch,
Super
except for
easy.
the ones that are attached to my belly. But
Super easy, dude. Like you would be amazed at how easy. You just gotta have time to let the thing roll proof. It's really easy. And they're a million times better than anything you get in the store. Like I'll never ever buy rolls for Thanksgiving ever again. Ever.
huh.
Well, I haven't done it for 20 some years at this point, but I'll never buy them again.
Well, I have enough spare time on my hands this week that I may have to mess around.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I, I think it was like, I don't know, 4 months ago, we were doing something and I grabbed a bag of rolls, like brown and serves. Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just don't have time. Fuck this. And I put them in, I browned them up and served them up. And I was like, oh, these are garbage. They're fucking trash. And if I'd have just planned it out a little bit easier, I would have, I still could have done them in the time, but I just didn't want to because it was just like, well, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
And we were eating these things and they're just like falling apart. And I'm like, they got no body. They're like weirdly crumbly. Like, and I cooked them fine. They were nice and, steamy in the middle, but the outsides were like, I don't know what the hell they're putting in these things. Like whatever the enriched flour shit or the extenders that they're doing. I don't know, but it just wasn't good. It just
Right.
reinforced, and that's why for 20 some years, I haven't done it for Thanksgiving. And this was the first time in 20 some years I actually tried to get brown and serves again. And I was like, this is garbage. But,
well, you spoiled yourself on,
well,
on
it's not
proper
spoiling.
homemade
Though.
rolls.
It's not spoiling. It's just making the easiest thing that man has made since fucking the dawn of time, right? Like it's yeast and water, flour and salt, and that's it, right? It's just different proportions and just a little bit of time and not being afraid of it. And that's one of the
Yeah.
big things. People get freaked out by dough because they think that like they got to be perfect about it and they don't. Like even fucking bad rolls are really good. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah. It's like bad pizza.
right. Like I've overcooked my rolls. They're still great. Like
You can cover up a lot of sins with enough gravy.
yeah, exactly. But I think people would be really, really surprised at how good they would be at making fresh rolls or bread. Rolls are a good place to start because they're small. People get really intimidated by bread, and I understand that. Like, because it's big, right? And you got this big thing, you don't fucking know what to do with it. You got to cut slices into it to let it breathe. Start with rolls. Rolls are perfect entry into baking, like from scratch baking, not just from a mix. And from a mix is fine too. A mix
All right, well,
from a mix is better than buying the fucking brown and serve guys.
well, I guess you've given me a new charge for this week to fuck around and make a batch of fresh
Yeah, you're gonna be
rolls.
off for 9 days after tomorrow.
Yeah,
What are
and
you doing?
it's literally like 20 cents worth of ingredients.
It really is, and that's the
I
other
already
thing.
have the flour, I already have the yeast, I already have the sugar,
Yeah.
I already have salt, and all that shit.
And
So
the
I guess
amount
I
of
just
sugar
need
you're gonna use is literally like
it's just enough to feed the yeast.
a tablespoon at the most. Yeah. It depends, like okay, I'll tell you what. I'll look up a recipe and I'll send it to you. And then
Okay.
I'll post that recipe on the Facebook page.
All right.
Okay.
So challenge accepted. So you send me the recipe and I'm gonna do it and I will get back to you with the results.
Okay. So we had some questions. We put it out there and some people wrote in and we have some questions to us and then we'll take them as they come. So we're going to start with Ryan Hall, who says, what sides and dishes are okay to make ahead of time, and how to reheat to make mealtime easier when time and space are limited. Do you want to start on this?
I feel like you can, like with like traditional like Thanksgiving sides, there's a fair number that you could do ahead of time and just like huck them back in the oven and give them some new life, like sweet potatoes or even green bean casserole, things like that. You don't put the onions on the casserole, obviously. You just make the base,
Right. Yeah.
and you just toss your onions on top and finish it off in the oven and just bring it back up to temp. And we've made it 2 or 3 days ahead of time and just put foil over it and put it in the fridge and just finish it off day of, and
Yeah,
it comes back great.
I prep all of my sides on Wednesday. I cook more than half of my sides on Wednesday as well. Because like gravy, I do that the day before. It's just gravy.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah, and if it gets a little tight, you just add a little more liquid to it.
right. So on the day before, I'll make stock, which is the first thing I'll make in the morning because it's got to cook the longest. But I use an Instant Pot now, and like an hour or two later, I got fucking really, really thick gelatinous stock to go miles, right? And I make my gravy with it, and then I have a bunch of stock left over to splash on things to, bring them back to life. Add a little to your mashed potatoes if they're a little dry, right? Mashed potatoes I make the day of, but I prep the day before.
Yeah.
So I'll cut them up and I'll put them in a pot filled with water and salt. Let them sit overnight
so they don't oxidize. Yeah,
right. But they're cut, like they're ready to go.
I think literally like 2/3 of like, at least in my
cranberry
house,
sauce gets made the day before because it's cranberry sauce. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
right? Like
in my house we just open the can day
out.
of, but
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like,
but
it's not
like most
out.
of the sides that we do are like things that you can literally like at least make the base a day, two, maybe 3 days in advance, and just tuck it in the fridge, and once even the night before or early in the morning, day of, you just take it out and let it, get some temperature on it. And, so it's not like stone cold when you start prepping it or start doing the finishing touches on it, and just tuck it in the oven. It's
but like the green bean casserole. Like the green bean casserole, like you're saying, if you just kind of cook it even 3/4 of the way the day before, then the next day you put the onions on top, cook it that last quarter. It just needs to get bubbly, but the main part is just getting
you're just getting temp back in it. Yeah.
Right.
And like with the homemade green bean casserole, you can make like the quote unquote cream of mushroom and blanch or cook your green beans off a little bit and just throw those in a bag, put the sauce in a container. And when you get to your place, you just marry the two and put the onions on it and ship it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it, and, I'm bad at this, but going to culinary school made me obsessed with organization because you can't cook properly for a bunch of people and make big dinners without organization.
Yeah.
So like, when I prepare for Thanksgiving, I write out a menu, and then each page after that is the recipe for that thing. Right.
Yeah.
Then, so like right now, my wife and son are downstairs making fish tacos, and it's a relatively complicated recipe because there's multiple parts, and there's the fish, and then there's a salsa, and then there's another sauce, and then there's another thing. It's like 4 things. So, going back and forth trying to figure out what you got to do. When I was prepping up here to do the podcast, I could hear Leanna talking to Crosby, like reading out the recipe. So I went downstairs right before I came back up to start this, and I was like, "Hey, I heard what you guys are saying. this is what I do when there's a complicated recipe, even to today.
Hmm.
I write the whole fucking thing out. And then step by step, when I do the thing that's next in line, I just put a fucking line through it.
Right.
And I know where I'm at in the recipe, so I don't get lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
You make like a tick list and you just
right. And that's what I do for everything that I make on Thanksgiving. So I know where I'm at, because there's so many things that a lot of people are making that it's really easy to get overwhelmed and lost and
right.
not know where you're at in a certain thing. Like, oh shit, did I chop the onions for this? Or did you, like, as long as you have a list that you've handwritten out or typed out on a computer and printed out,
Yeah.
you just mark the
My
shit
entire
off.
life with my family, my mom lives and dies by like a little like 4x6 legal pad. Every holiday that we do, we have a planning list on her. Yep. You got
Well, I
the
got the
big one.
big legal pad. I got,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
her
I have
because
these all over the house.
it fits on her little space at the kitchen table next to her tablet where she's watching videos
Yeah.
and so we sit down and we menu plan and decide who's bringing what and who's cooking what and it's just we live and die by mom's
Yeah.
checklist.
And it's a
You know,
little bit of a pain in the ass, but it helps. And
it
honestly,
works on the back end. It
but
works.
it's also like studying for a test, right?
Mhm.
Like, because you've written it down once, you got an idea of where you're going to be. It's not,
And
you're
you
not
have a
just shooting
reference.
from the hip. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, uh, yeah, there's so much you can prepare the day before, and there's so much
Yes,
that you can
sides
just,
are super forgiving as far as like pre-prep goes.
and honestly, like, once you get the turkey out, you want to let your turkey sit for about an hour
Mm-hmm.
at least, so everything cools down and the juices redistribute and everything kind of relaxes a little bit. All the
Mm-hmm.
meat relaxes a little bit, because if you take the turkey out and cut it, it all fucking just
Oh yeah,
everything
it's
comes
gonna be
out and you got super dry turkey. You're never gonna get that back. You can't put the water back in the balloon, right?
no.
So just let it sit, and while you have that hour for your turkey to rest,
Warm up
because
your sides.
it's going to be so fucking hot anyway, just warm your sides up. It's a really good thing. Mac and cheese is really good with that. Like, all you gotta do is add a little bit of fucking milk or whatever to zhuzh it back to life,
Or the Hauser patented pre-blended mac and cheese base.
yeah. Oh, gross. Well, it's not gross. It always just kind of feels like making a chicken eating a chicken. It's really good.
If it works, it works. You
Hey, it
know,
works. You just got to
it's
add a
not a
little bit.
dumb idea
It's
if it
already a
works.
thickened sauce. It's great. It's just blended mac and cheese thrown onto macaroni.
I don't have a problem with it.
No, it's great. But yeah, you can totally make, honestly, 3/4 of your, like, when I was growing up, there was turnips. You could totally cook your turnips the day before. I love turnips. They're so watery and shitty, but they take fucking forever because you got to cook a lot of the water out of them. So that's and those are a thing that, like, you don't think is going to take a lot of time, but it fucking totally does. And it takes up a burner for a long time.
Yeah,
Do that shit the day
they're
before.
so damn dense.
Yeah, they're so watery. And then
Yeah.
once they finally fall apart, there's so much water. You got to cook all that water off.
I think
right?
I've had turnips like 4 times, and they were always like roasted, which is I have no problem with it.
Best way
I
to make
enjoy
them
them
because it fucking gets rid of a lot of that water.
I mean, to be fair, you put me on like roasted red radishes, and
Yeah.
like that fucked me up for radish. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
They're incredible, right? I
And
just
it's
had them
so
the other
stupid.
day.
It's simple.
Yeah,
like
I
it's olive oil, salt, pepper, whatever. Throw them in the oven.
I made steaks on Sunday and had roasted radishes and roasted golden beets together. It was fucking
They're
delicious.
so damn good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, again, roasted radishes, you could do that the night before. Like, all they have to do is be reheated. Like,
yeah.
so much stuff. So try it and let us know what you did and how it turned out. My friend Andrea Turner said, I'm making all the ghetto side dishes. I'm making corn casserole plus veggie casserole with rich cracker topping plus hash brown casserole with onion dip and cheese topping. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. Um, and then I was joking when I was like, "Are you having fucking casserole giving?" She's like, "I just like casseroles." And I was like, "That's fucking awesome! Like, do fucking you." So, uh, with Andrea in mind, I'm not a casserole guy. Like
Wait, all right. Go back over that real quick because I got
corn casserole,
corn casserole. Okay.
veggie casserole, which I have no idea
So,
what that is.
yeah, that's kind of
Her
my
veggie
thought
casserole
too.
has rich Ritz cracker topping, and then
Okay.
she's doing a hash brown casserole with onion dip and cheese topping.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't even know what the fuck that could be.
Well, I've down here, hash brown casserole, believe it or not,
It's a
is a
breakfast thing, right?
well, it's a breakfast thing, but it's also a very popular side dish with like craft barbecue places.
Okay.
They do like either like a hash brown casserole or like a tater tot casserole.
So I'll make a breakfast hash brown casserole that's base of hash browns, ton of eggs, well, hash browns, sausage, onions, and then egg on top, and then cheese on top of that, and then
Now down
cover
here,
it.
it's very cheese heavy.
Okay.
As far as like the hash browns or like the tater tots down
Mhm.
here, uh it's almost like a like hash browns and like a almost like a bechamel and a
Okay.
shit ton of cheese
Oh shit.
and maybe some like diced up like peppers and onions uh and stuff like and they bake it off or they smoke it a little bit even um and it's generally pretty damn good. It's definitely hefty. It's she dense but it's usually pretty good. um is the corn casserole that could
I've
go
had corn
any
casserole.
number of directions as far as you know the methodology for that. So
Yeah, but then what was the other one? Veggie casserole with Ritz cracker topping.
yeah, I got nothing because I need
Yeah.
some details, but as far as the content, you know.
So okay, but for the casseroles, what kind of Because I'm not a casserole guy. Like when I go to my mother in law's casserole, she does. I mean, house. She does like a rice and broccoli casserole kind
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
broccoli cheese and rice casserole
Yeah,
in Texas
yeah.
is fucking ubiquitous.
So she grew up in
It's
Arkansas, so like that's her shit,
okay, so we're not that far apart.
right?
But yeah, broccoli cheese and rice casserole. It's literally like broccoli cheese and rice,
That's
and
all it is.
you put a shit ton of cheese on top and bake
Yep,
it off.
yep.
And but you put enough dairy in the rice and broccoli and stuff that it becomes almost like a cream sauce.
Yeah.
It's not super saucy because the
No.
rice sucks up a lot of the moisture,
Yep.
but you
It's
just put a
good.
big fat layer of shredded cheese on top and
Yeah,
bake it
dude.
off to get a little color,
Yeah.
and it's pretty damn good. And it's not that hard to make.
It was a
So
good way to get her granddaughters who didn't eat vegetables, who were fucking, you would think they
dude,
were allergic to
you throw enough
vegetables.
cheese at things, you can get
Right.
people to eat a lot of
One
things
of
if
one
there's
of my
enough cheese on
nieces,
it.
one of my nieces ate nothing but hot dogs or chicken nuggets until she was like 20.
That sounds like my daughter.
Yeah. But she would eat the broccoli casserole.
I mean,
So,
you got to get it where you can.
yeah, yeah. That's why she made it all the time because
But yeah, no,
the
like
kids loved it.
yeah, the hash brown casserole. That I mean, I'm sure you have Cracker Barrels there,
Yeah, of course.
and that's one of their big sides is their hash brown casserole.
Okay.
It's
So what
very
kind of
popular.
casseroles do you fuck with?
Um, uh, uh not holiday related.
I mean, yeah, I mean both.
Um, so I guess it's casserole adjacent. Is
Okay.
my sister does like the she does candied yams, but it's almost more like a casserole than it is like just like candied yams. Like she cuts them down and like cooks it like in a 9 by 13 and makes like a streusel to go on top.
Mhm.
and it eats more like a casserole than it does like a vegetable side dish, you know.
Right.
And the broccoli cheese and rice casserole, actually learned that from my wife because we never made it, but when I started going to Thanksgiving with her family, they always make it, and I was like, this is pretty damn good, so I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's see. Let's see. I do lots of like pasta bakes and stuff like that. That are basically all the things you put in like a pasta dish, and it becomes a casserole.
Okay.
And they make really great leftovers. They're always better the next day. Um,
Are you guys like Midwest casserole people?
um, Not necessarily like right out the gate, but if I lived in Indiana for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a lot of things in baking dishes there.
So like my grandmother would make a kind of like sweet potato casserole with like the marshmallows and shit on top of
Mhm.
it.
No, we skipped the marshmallows on ours, but
Right. But like I know post Thanksgiving there's always a Thanksgiving, like people do the Thanksgiving casserole where they just kind of take all the sides and fucking mix them up. I
we
mean,
we we seldom have enough leftovers for that.
right.
But
I mean, I do a
this
green bean casserole like
yeah,
we were just
but
talking about it. So,
and Southern mac and cheese ends up going in the oven, so it almost eats like a casserole.
yeah, that's true.
Um,
So, all right, well, like I'll ask Andrea what the hell she's talking about with like what's in her veggie casserole,
yeah, I'm
because corn
curious.
casserole speaks for itself. Like I've had that
Yeah,
before at like a friend's house for Thanksgiving when I was in
yeah,
college, and I was like, holy shit, this is really fucking good.
yeah. I
You
want
know,
to know more. So
because normally when I was growing up, it was just like take couple cans of corn, fucking dump it in, salt and pepper, heat it up. There you go, corn. You
yeah,
know.
throw some butter on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Joe Robinson wants to know how many milligrams of THC do I need to infuse
I
my mashed
saw
potatoes
that.
with to ensure that there are no political discussions at the table? Well, I guess it depends on if your people at the table are users, if they pass on grass, or oh shit, I should pull out that fucking list I was telling you about.
Yeah.
What was
Well,
it?
I guess
Pish
I've
posh. I pass on pot.
yeah.
There was this list to let everybody in. A friend of mine I saw posted a poster they took a picture of in their school like years and years ago when they became like a first year teacher, but they thought it was really funny. And it's just 50 ways to deny weed from people. And one of them was like pish posh. I pass on pot or something like that. It was really weird. All of them are super weird. But if there are people that don't, I don't even know. Dude, I'm not the person to ask. I'm a
I
lightweight.
mean, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And it's like,
Yeah.
A, where do you live?
Yeah.
That determines the strength of the tanks that you're going to be able to actually get.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, there's a ton of dispensaries around here in Baltimore and stuff. Joe lives in Baltimore. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show.
oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
Chef Joe Robinson.
Also, I still,
By the
can
way,
you
just to
still
let
adopt
everybody
me?
know, he is completely joking about this. He's not going to do this.
No, no.
But I'm taking this question.
I thought it was a
as
hilarious
serious.
question, though. It was like, how many people?
Yeah.
How many potatoes?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah. What's the potato ratio?
what are the levels of the deltas in your extracts?
I love
And
the thought of it's the mashed potatoes that get you, because you would think like, oh,
I feel like
maybe
that's
it's
the easiest
mushroom.
way to get it in there, though.
But you would think the mushrooms maybe like something where like some like but something as innocuous as mashed potatoes, like I can see like a movie where somebody spikes the mashed potatoes and then all of a sudden everybody's fucked up. Like that would be hilarious. Mashed potatoes.
Suddenly you have no leftovers though.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
like, man, it's fucking mashed potatoes. Fucking great. They don't even need gravy. All right. Keith Curley, Chef Keith Curley, friend of mine, says, I have a question. Adam Yost was telling me about some dry brining business that you may have a previous episode about. I was wondering if you could tell me what episode. I'd like to check it out. I don't fucking know what episode.
I can answer that out, honestly.
Can you?
As a listener of the show for the last 5-6 years,
okay,
it's been this episode.
I was going to say that was
every year for the last 4 or 5 years that I've listened to it. So you can listen to John talk to Rebecca about it.
Yeah.
And John talked to Evan about it. And John talked to Jenny about it.
Yeah.
And they go into
I talked about it to you.
Really good, really specific detail and all the ratios and the time frames and things. So basically any time or any episode around this time of year, you can go back and there's going to be a reference to the dry brine.
Yeah.
And it's really good information. And it's,
because I've been doing it for a while now. Like, I was, not to toot my own horn, I was doing it before it became the de rigueur way to do it. I was doing it when it still was like a thing to only do for chickens, I guess, because they didn't think it would scale up, but it did. And then, because before that I was doing wet brines, and I still love wet brines. Wet brines have their place. Like, don't get me wrong.
I was going to bring that up too, because I have a favorite product that I like to use for like a wet brine.
Is it pork chops?
No, like a
you were gonna say that. Yeah, okay.
So I know it feels like a product push, but I've used it multiple times and I've always had good luck with it
for wet brining.
Yeah, it's a wet. It's a dried pre-mixed brine base that you just simmer off in like a pot of hot water.
Sure.
And cool it down, and then you can brine your protein in it. The brand is called Rodell.
Okay.
RODELLE. Mm-hmm. And it's made as a turkey brine, but we've actually used this in competition chicken barbecue chickens before, mm-hmm. and they have hit. So, but it's like it's got like some big chunky salt and a lot of like dried like cranberry and bits of cinnamon stick, mm-hmm. and all your your fall spices and stuff mixed in with rosemary and all the things, but you just simmer
it's a little chunky, huh?
It's very chunky, but like you throw it in a pot of water. There's a ratio, X amount of the
1 cup to 1 gallon of water.
Yeah. And
I'm looking at it now.
And you simmer it off and cool it down, and then you dunk your whatever bird.
Do you have some of this at your house right now?
I do, in my cabinet right now.
Okay. Next time you make a chicken,
mm-hmm.
do this. The day before or 2 days before, take that dry brine, put it in a food processor, process it till it's all fucking
like powder,
and then dry brine your chicken with it.
That's a good fucking idea.
Yeah. I'm a fucking genius.
I know.
I think that's a really good idea because you've already got all the fucking herbs.
All the components.
Yeah. And that what happens is when you do a dry brine or when you do a wet brine too, osmosis happens. You have an equalization of water and salt.
Yeah.
And the salt goes into first it pulls out the liquid, and then the liquid pulls the salt back into the bird.
Mm-hmm.
And
it swaps.
It swaps back in and out, right? There's an equilibrium. And if it doesn't actually take in the herbs don't go into the chicken, but the essence and the flavor of the herbs that have been mixed with the water have enough time to infuse the water with the flavor, and then that goes into the chicken or the turkey,
all right,
which we're talking about. So like when I do a turkey, like I said earlier, sometimes I do cinnamon, sometimes I do cinnamon and orange peel, which I do pretty much every year. I like that combination.
Yeah.
And the cinnamon and the orange peel just kiss the skin, right? Like it
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't. There's not so much of it that it tastes like oranges and cinnamon. It
Right.
just
But it gives you
it's a
that essence.
warming. Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. And then the salt. I mean, the crazy part is like you put a lot of salt on the fucking turkey. It's so much salt that you're like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? But it really isn't a lot of salt because there's so much fucking meat. Like when you salt a steak, you make it fucking snow on that thing to the
Yeah.
it's
But
almost if you're doing
a
like
lot of
a
it's gonna bleed off with
right,
the
but if you're
moisture
doing like a
coming
one
out.
and a half inch steak or a 1 inch steak, you want a lot of salt to penetrate into that steak, to get in there. And for a turkey that's, you know, let's say 15 pounds, you need a lot, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then you got the so I think it's like 1 tablespoon per cup of one tablespoon for every 3 tablespoons or something. I don't know. Look up the Food Lab, Kenji
Gotcha.
Kenji
Yep.
Lopez Alt's version of a dry brine. That's what I use as my recipe for when you add the baking powder because
Mhm.
he's got a ratio and it's a very good ratio and I don't fuck with it. But then I add a bunch of other shit to it. You can add all the herbs you want, all the other
Just to
stuff.
bump it up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because all the dry brine is just there to pump up the meat, to add flavor and to be a buffer
Mm.
from the heat to dry out your bird, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
It's
when
it's
you
very similar to when people do like a pork belly,
yeah,
uh, and they're with like a skin on pork belly. They'll do like they literally just like lay like an
it's a cure.
entire layer of like salt on the skin before it goes on the heat. But they knock once the salt dries out, they knock all the salt off the
Yeah,
skin,
yeah,
and it pulls that moisture out of the skin so it crisps up.
right. But yeah, always do a dry brine. I like it so much better. You know what? I really need to do a wet brine for a chicken soon because it's been so long. I remember the one thing that's great about
Girl, you'll be a chicken soon.
the one thing I remember that's stupid. That's good. Uh, the one thing I remember though is with a wet brine, it really does change the texture of the meat, and it becomes kind of like waterloggy, like not wet cardboard. That's a bad explanation, but it changes. It's so pumped full of water because if you leave a chicken overnight in a brine, it just takes on as much fucking water as it can,
Yeah.
right? And it really becomes waterlogged. And what happens is you're just tasting brine at that point, and you're not really tasting the chicken. And that's what's beautiful about the dry brine is that you're really just tasting the meat, and it beautifully like tightens the meat up, but also pumps it up.
Well, to be fair,
It's a weird thing
with
to
this
say.
guy, we usually only brine it for a couple hours.
Oh well, then that really doesn't do much. Then
Yeah, like
that's only
my
penetrating
experience
like an
with
inch in,
like
maybe.
yeah with the competition environment, you don't have that much time.
Sure, sure, sure. But
So
that's why people do injections.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I've had terrible luck with chicken injections, but because it
Depends on
just
what you're
gets
using, I
too
suppose,
watery.
too. Well,
It it
that's the thing, right? Like,
it,
because
it
of course you're gonna have a pocket of water,
mm,
unless
and it
you're like,
almost steams the meat, and
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I would recommend going to the Food Lab website,
mm,
and I mean, if you just look up, Food Lab dry brine, I guarantee you it'll take you right to Kenji's thing. And if you really want to nerd out about it, he's got a fucking giant explanation about how it works and all that shit. Or you can just hit the button that'll take you right to the recipe. And that's fine. And it's super easy. It literally is just salt, and baking powder. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
But you can
I
add
love
your own
Kenji's
twist to it.
stuff, man. He makes it so approachable, you
Yeah.
know.
But I do think you need to do that thing with the prepared.
I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah.
Because it's got all the shit in it, right? And if you just zip it up in a blender,
yes. Throw that to me in a message, and so I have it like where I can remember.
Sure.
And because tomorrow is going to be a busy day, and then the next few days, but I'm definitely down to try that because that sounds like a great idea, a great experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
All right. And then lastly, Vince Moore, your buddy, said,
Vinny. Oh, Vinny. I love Vinny, man.
Can I smoke a turkey? I just did a brisket. I know it's
you
possible.
gotta have really big rolling papers, but
I think. Yeah. One, get yourself some rolling papyrus.
History of the World Part 1.
Thank you.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Dude, yeah. Madeline Kahn is so brilliant. She was so brilliant.
Papers. Rolling papyrus.
Gregory Hines.
Yeah. So yeah, you can totally smoke a turkey. I've done it before. But okay. So Vince asked this, and then your buddy Jeremy Majors said, and this is really smart. He said, I like to spatchcock when smoking. I brine overnight, inject with butter, season, then smoke low for a couple hours for the smoke, and then crank it up to 300 or a tad more to finish it to crisp it up the skin. I think that's smart, but there's two things that I would do different. Spatchcocking, I think, is great because you're really opening up the turkey to get smoke.
Even heat, yeah.
Even heat, but also smoke on the top and on the inside, right? So you're getting smoke from fucking... It's going to penetrate better than if you had a whole turkey, which I've done before. I've smoked the turkey whole and it was fine. It took a little longer than I thought it would, and it was a big pain in the ass. And then afterwards, I was like, I totally should have spatchcocked that. But the brine overnight, I think he's talking about a wet brine. I would do a dry brine. But when you're smoking, and I'm sure you know about what a pellicle is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're smoking or
when you make your own bacon, you know,
if you have a wet turkey and you're trying to smoke it, it's not going to work because
it's a barrier.
Yeah, the
moisture is a barrier.
Not going to stick to the wetness. What you want to do is brine it overnight, 2 days before, and then let that motherfucker sit for another day outside of the brine and just let it dry out
in the fridge and
And what happens is everything on the outside of the turkey dries out and creates a thing called a pellicle. It's
the best part of the bacon.
It's the protein of the skin come up above the skin. It makes like a sticky, like little residue that lets everything stick to it. So the smoke sticks to it better. So when you're going to smoke meats or when you're going to smoke anything, fish, you always want to create a pellicle before you smoke, so the smoking takes easier. So it doesn't become splotchy. Yeah. So it smokes evenly, and you can smoke low to get that. You get the smoke in, and then ramp it up to crisp it up. I think that's a really smart way to do it.
Yeah.
But I would do a dry brine, and then because what I do is when I dry brine in a bag for 2 to 3 days. And then, 2 days. And then I take it out of the bag. And by that point, there's no more salt on it. It's all been, sucked up, right? Then I just put it on a sheet pan and I let it sit for another day or two to really dry out. And it's not drying out your meat. It's protected by the brine. It's protected by the salt. Your food has been cured basically on the outside. Mm-hmm. So
and the skin becomes like the shelter.
Right. And as that dries out, your skin becomes dry. And then the beauty of that, you can see the beauty of the baking powder because the skin becomes very, very white because you got all that baking powder on it, right?
Mm.
Because that doesn't all suck in. It just kind of stays on top and gets in a little bit. So then, it looks almost like fruit. It's like leather, right? It's dry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the beauty of it is right before you cook it, you cover that thing in oil, take your hands, just do one of these, Mr. Miyagi, that motherfucker, with some vegetable oil, then rub it all over, give that thing a little svits, work out the kinks in its
A
neck
thing
and shit.
I see a lot down here too is aerosol duck fat has become very popular.
They're selling it up here too. I've seen that. I'll just buy duck fat. So you can, if you want, there's a place called Hudson Valley Farms. You can buy a quart of duck fat, $20. It's fucking awesome. And it's from the best ducks in the world.
Nice.
Or you can buy them here. I think the problem with like maybe ordering from Hudson Valley sometimes is their shipping costs are a bit much. I think you got to order a certain amount of money before they'll ship it for free. So you might want to look into it. But their duck fat is awesome. I mean, even chicken schmaltz, but I just use vegetable oil and then just cover it and then pop it in the oven and you're good to go. So
cool. I did have one more thing.
All right, go for it.
So there's this 6 foot tall brunette who's real pretty that I kind of know. Had a question about doing like, so you have pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie, and they're kind of interchangeable, sort of. She had a question about maybe doing like a not candied yams, but like a candied pumpkin versus candied yam. If it,
as a side or as
a side, yeah. Like subbing in like pumpkin versus yam.
You could, I mean, it's the same. It's totally the same.
I feel like, it would definitely work.
The only problem would be
the pumpkin would not have to cook as long because there's a lot more moisture. It's not as dense. That was going to be
the thing. You got to get a baking pumpkin instead of like, because a baking
sugar pumpkin
is much lower moisture.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
that was, I was like, I feel like that could work, but I want to throw that out,
totally
to you.
Can, because, but there is a moisture level that pumpkins are much more full of water than yams.
Like a sweet potato or yam. Yeah.
So, but are you doing pies or are you buying pies? I'm buying.
We're buying pies. Yeah. We usually just kind of, the only time I actually make like pies is at Christmas because it's my older brother's, his birthday's on Christmas Eve, and we have a cheesecake recipe. And that's his favorite thing. So I make a couple of those.
Cool.
As a dessert for Christmas dinner, and his birthday, I just ship him a whole cheesecake.
Nice.
And but yeah, we definitely subcontract desserts.
Yeah.
All the like the main dishes and the sides we do in-house, but
there's some pretty good bakeries.
Dude, Costco has a really, really good apple pie.
Yeah, I mean, apple pie and pumpkin pie, it's really hard for places to fuck those up. Like,
yeah,
even bad
it'll
pumpkin
happen,
pie.
But,
pumpkin pie is like pizza. Even bad pumpkin pie is good pumpkin pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apple pie you can fuck up, depending on what you put in it and shit. I'm gonna go. I think this year we're gonna go pumpkin pie and maybe a coconut custard pie.
I think I need to buy a pecan pie this year because I learned that my wife has never had it.
You were talking about that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna make her try pecan pie this year.
Get a small one.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna like a little 9-inch,
little mini motherfuckers.
Actually, there's a couple places down here.
Overwhelming sometimes.
There's a couple places down here that for years and years they always made like little 4-inch mini pies.
Those are perfect.
And so maybe I'll get a package of those and just warm them up a little bit, because that blows my mind.
Yeah, you gotta get that right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we did it. We answered some of the questions. We talked about what we were going to make or are thinking about making, I guess. And we hope we helped you out this year for Thanksgiving. Let us know. Reach out to us. Become a member of the Facebook group. Let us know what you made. Let us take pictures. Show it. We're all going to do that this year.
Want all the information so we can steal it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We share information. We share. So.
And also that veggie casserole. I need more details because
I will ask Andrea. Yeah. So from our hearts to yours, happy Thanksgiving. Soren, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, sir. I wish the same for you. And I pray for Leanna's stomach lining to, heal.
She's fine. She's downstairs having a couple glasses of wine. She's all right.
That's fair.
So from our family to yours, happy Thanksgiving. We will see you in 2 weeks. We will not be putting out an episode next week. And again, if you have friends or family that like food or cooking and like listening to podcasts, let them know about us. We don't advertise.
Just make sure you tell them that we're a little spicy sometimes.
Yeah, tell them that we start out with cuss words because my 70
be a bit of a turn off.
Yeah, my 77-year-old aunt likes to listen to this. And every time I see her, she's like, you don't really have to say all those curse words. I'm like, well, she's like, I tell my friends about it and it surprises them. I'm like, well, you need to
like
let them know.
Well, at least you get it done right out the gate.
Well, then I'm like, it's on your fucking fault, Aunt Joni. What are you talking about? So that said, thank you everybody for listening. We hope you guys have a successful cooking day on Thanksgiving or the day before. Plan.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Make a list.
Yeah, check it twice. And we will see you soon for the Rude Cooking School podcast. My name is John Hauser III. Don't yuck my yum.
And I am cranberry saucy Soren Marquardt.
All right. See you guys later. Have a great week.
All right.
Peace.